Hey friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am really excited about today's video. I wanted to switch things up just a little bit. The last few videos that I have uploaded here on my channel have been more on the chatty side, but I wanted to kind of create space given that we're in weird times right now, and I wanted to just acknowledge that. I didn't want to just have a video where I'm just, 5 tips to create, better art or whatever. Although those are really valuable and I'm still watching those type of videos, I wanted to make sure that I created space or, just kind of acknowledged again the moment that we're living in. A lot of stuff is happening all over the world, and it is quite unsettling for a lot of people. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I also, aside from current events, I personally have a hard time during January and February of every year, just because of, here where I am on the East Coast of the U.S., it is winter. And so we are dealing with a lot of snow, a lot of rain, really decreased amounts of sun. So as someone that loves warm weather, I often struggle during the winter. And I do get a little bit of that seasonal depression. It's something that I'm sure other folks deal with as well. I know I'm not unique in that, but January, February are just tough times of year, even aside from all that's going on this current January and February. So I wanted to also acknowledge that maybe folks might be having a hard time with a combination of those two things, or one or either of those things. And so for today's video, what I really wanted to do is to create that space where folks can just kind of take their mind off of what's going on. My belief is to always leave a place better than how you found it. So if you've come onto my little corner of the internet, my hope is that you always leave either having learned something or having walked away feeling better than when you first came. So I always have soft, relaxing music. I try to make my videos as entertaining as possible, but also as calming as possible, because that's what I personally need. And I know there are folks out there that may have similar thoughts as well. So for the next 25-ish or 30 minutes, what I want to show you is a pretty real-time process of me just kind of mindlessly getting my mind off of things and filling a sketchbook spread. I did want to just, again, acknowledge that this is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a bit of a longer video. And so the purpose is for you to be able to grab your own sketchbook, grab your art supplies. Maybe if you're a writer, you're already probably using your laptop to watch this, but grab your laptop and just have some uninterrupted time to just focus on whatever it is that your art is. You may not be a writer, you may not be an artist. You may just want to have some time to just take 30 minutes and just read. I also have my book here that I'm reading as well. So whatever it is that you need for the next 25, 30 minutes, I hope that you just take some time with some great music in the background to just focus on your art and focus on whatever it is that brings you joy that you can do for the next 30 minutes. And then towards the end, you will hear this noise here, which will indicate that I am going to come in and kind of verbally give my thoughts on the process of creating the sketchbook spread and just kind of generally what it is that I learned from this session and what I would maybe do differently. And then we'll also close out the video. Happy creating, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. So as I mentioned, I'm extremely pleased with how the sketchbook spread came out. I love the variation in the colors. You know, it's really quite interesting how you can just put a blob of color and then just kind of use the pen, the micron pen, to kind of define the shapes a bit. I didn't intentionally create any shapes when I put the watercolor down, but I think that by kind of using that as a basis to start building some of these flowers, building some of these shapes, and even going and extending beyond the watercolor blobs, you know, just creating really interesting shapes and interesting, you know, movement. I think it was really interesting for me to first lay down the watercolor and then lay down then go over it with the pen. I really quite like that approach because it is more loose and it's not as tight and as restricting. Typically I would go about it the other way. I would do a pencil sketch and then I would maybe outline it and then put watercolor on top. Whereas I did the opposite. I did the watercolor first, didn't use any pencil sketch, and just went straight into the pen inking. And you know, there are some parts of it where it's not super accurate in terms of the drawing, but it was very freeing, and I do actually enjoy some of the imperfections that I was able to get. It's often funny how you create things, or sometimes when you're creating something just for the purpose of making art and not to have a good outcome, you often are surprised with the results that you get. And so that was a happy accident that happened here as well, and it's something that I might consider doing more of in future spreads of my sketchbook. So I think all in all, I think this is a great way to just kind of loosen up in your sketchbook and kind of try different color variations. I wasn't using any particular reference, or I was using references to kind of reference how flowers would be shaped, but not references in terms of to see how the color should be used. So there's some odd coloring, but I like it. I quite like how it came out. So I think this is a great opportunity or a great option for if you're trying to fill a sketchbook spread, if you're trying to figure out how to loosen up your art. Doing an exercise like this is a really, really fun and really interesting challenge. All right, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for pressing play on today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you were able to get a little bit of reprieve again from all of that's going on in the world. If you did work on something, definitely leave me a comment down below on what you worked on and how that time spent made you feel. I'm really curious to know if this is something that we should continue doing in the future. Also, let me know if you'd love more videos like this. I'm thinking maybe once a month, just to kind of have like a sketchbook session where we just kind of create, or we write, or we read, or whatever, for about 25 to 30 minutes, just kind of music in the background and just calm vibes. Let me know what you think in the comments below as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.